This is a 53-foot semi-reefer that I converted into a self-containing chicken coop in like 2 days so far. Still got some work to do, but let me tell you about how cool this is. I had one project to do this summer, was my thought last winter. Finished that barn, I didn't even touch it barely. Got interrupted a million times. So I'm always looking for deals, and especially on these, and I happened to find some, and I bought a few of them. 53-foot semi-reefer. They are cheaper than sea cans. They're fully insulated already. 4 out of 5 of the recent ones that I have, and 5 out of 6 have a really good aluminum floor. This one has a hardwood floor. They are spray foamed on the roof, rigid insulation in the walls, insulated on the floor. The other side has a double barn door, and this side had a reefer unit. Now, my initial thought was to do a big hole and make my own set of barn doors or roll-up doors so I could drive straight through. Instead, I left some of the big framing to kind of keep it more steady. Had that door, had those windows, had polycarbonate. So this is kind of the walk-through area. Now to clean it out, I go to the barn door side and I open them both up, and I got room for the skid steer that I can drive the skid steer in and back drag, or I back the skid steer out and push it out. So it's just got, you know, like a semi. That's what it is. Got to do a little earthen ramp there, but and then the other one I have to set in place still. But look, it's nice and white. The roof is one-piece metal, no seams. This one, the VIN number's from the 1970s or 80s. I don't know, I checked them all. About there, so about 50 years old. No leaks, and it never will leak. It's just a solid piece of metal. They're sturdy. This one had the axles and tires removed already, so I had a towing company drop it into place, put it on railway ties. And this is it. I just finished installing 2 450-watt solar panels. I think that's going to be enough for what I'm doing inside. For now, on the outside, I just wired up a extension cord, so you plug this thing in like a lamp, just with an extension cord for what I have in there. Before we go inside, so this is going to be a self-contained chicken coop for about 120 chickens that I expect to get almost 10 dozen chicken eggs a day. So each one of these reefers I can get, you know, whatever, 8 to 10 organic chicken eggs a day. A combination of active solar and passive solar. So in this has some metal framing. What I'm going to do is cut the top in, I'll show you inside right away, put in windows. Another thing, I did my trigonometry for the sun angles. The sun is very low where I live in the winter time. So I went from the shading function peak of the barn, and I put it far enough away that the winter sun hits the entire solar panels and windows in the deadest part of the winter. So, and then out here is going to be the chicken run for each one. So when you lay the reefers, I lay it far enough away. I think it was like 30 feet away from each other or something like that. I forget the math off the top of my head, but you know, figure out your sun angle so you can actually utilize this as solar panels. And then the other reefers I got are going to have my Sirius solar racking. Those are going to be left on tires. Anyways, this is about a chicken coop. Nice glass door, some natural light in here. Okay, this is the 53-foot semi-reefer chicken coop. Pretty cool. So this side had the reefer unit in, so I took that off. Had the steel framing. I had like doors and windows stored, so opening doors and windows. Polycarbonate double layer, so on the outside and inside. Now, what's cool about these, most of mine have an aluminum floor. This one has a hardwood floor. So before I put straw down, I oiled it, and then straw. Chickens don't really pee and stuff, and This was a reefer unit, so it was good for like 50 years already and no problems. Yeah, so anyways, I can open those doors, clean it out. I made everything portable. Feeders, oyster shells, and crushed up eggshells. This is all they got for water right now. What's really cool, it got to minus 12 last night. No 50-watt heated water needed because the water didn't freeze in here, and the eggs don't freeze in minus 12 Celsius with no passive solar stuff yet. I wired up, again, just a kind of a cord end, all shielded wire. So I got an outlet. I got a light, 3-watt light bulb, so that's their night light. And then I put full spectrum greenhouse lights. Each one's 24 watts each. And again, it's not running on solar yet, but I figured about a 900 watts of solar input and then a small little system for this is going to be good for heated waters and lighting. So you need supplemental light. These are full spectrum greenhouse ones I thought might be good. 16 hours a day or else they don't lay kind of properly. Now with another cool thing, so most of the floors are aluminum. This one's hardwood. Around the outside is aluminum, so forklifts and pallet jacks were banging into them for years. Puck board, so you can pressure wash everything out if you want. And then some of my other ones have puck board everywhere. This one has a 4-foot sheet of plywood on the roof, spray foam up there, and then rigid insulation. So this one actually had some damage. It must have had a roll or something. So it was just kind of repaired. But if you can see in here, they have this kind of a C channel and then rigid insulation. Now, whoever did the rigid kind of did a crappy job. The spray foam up top is very nice. The rigid, you know, there's gaps all over the place, but it is what it is. It comes fully insulated. Okay, everything's movable. Waters, feeders, their roost system. I got to build another one of those. And then I got these off of a commercial chicken operation with, so they were 8 feet long. And our chickens just started laying eggs here. And I did them this height so the kids can reach them. Anyways, I broke these apart so I can lift them up, took the bottoms out. So I just lift it and all the straw and stuff stays in. So with one finger, I take them outside and then I can clean out the chicken coop twice a year or whatever. But yeah, so I expect to, for the square feet for chickens, this should be over 100 birds, I forget, 120 chickens, something like that. Another little trick, I put golf balls in there so they start laying. But like I couldn't have thought of a better way to build something. Insulated, the passive solar windows up here. So maybe half of it passive solar windows, half of it active solar PV panels or something like that. Now, another cool thing, I was thinking about, I have some insulated reefer panels. I could do like a shutter for at night. So during the day, you open it up, the sun blasts in here, and I could paint this wall black or put some black on it. Don't want anything like super heavy because I want to be able to clean it out easily with one pull of the skid steer. And then at nighttime, close off that to the outside, whether it's polycarbonate or a window, and keep all that heat in. Another really cool thing that I thought this was going to be good for passive solar. So not going to have a heating bill in Saskatchewan is where I'm at. It gets to minus 40 Celsius. But during the day in our greenhouse, it gets to like plus 35 Celsius in a greenhouse. With enough properly placed passive solar windows, by day, this is going to warm up, kind of like a greenhouse effect, right? And then at night, it's going to be cold. The chickens lay eggs during the day, so if you don't pick eggs for, a very short period of time, the eggs will freeze, and then if it gets super cold, the chickens aren't going to lay. So this experiment, without using any natural gas or any sort of other electric heating or heat lamps or nothing, all it is supplemental light for them and a 50-watt heated watering bowl, and that's all the electricity that's kind of needed in this thing. I'm hoping the passive solar is going to do it. So whether I get to that right now or not, I don't know. But hey, turkeys, it's pretty fun. So now we have, you know, not a large farm in today's standards, but we got a good chunk of land. So we have big livestock on pastures, like cattle, goats, grass-fed pigs, stuff like that. But this, with a run outside, it doesn't take much space. So if you live on just a few acres, this could be a good operation for you. One input I have, most of my livestock's grass-fed, but an input that I have is organic grain for the chicken feed. And then I make my own chicken feed, like mix it up, grind it up, put in a supplement or whatever. And so it's actually organic eggs. So off of a small, and again, if you have just a few acres or something, it depends where you live. Most developments won't let you put a sea can or something like this because it's ugly or something. So you could drop it, cut in some nice windows, spruce it up, put some siding on, maybe hide it from your Karen neighbors or something. Or if you have a treed-in area, you literally drop this, and within 3 days, the chickens were in here, and I was like set up, okay? So what's the chicken math on this thing? So let's say 120 layers, and then I do a proper thing where we always have, you know, hatched and young chickens or whatever to rotate. We just have a mixed breed in here, but I'm thinking of Barred Rock, kind of a mixed, so you can have them for meat as well. 120 chickens. If they were laying 100%, just easy math, that's 10 dozen eggs a day. At my grocery stores, organic chicken eggs are $10 a dozen now. So let's say you can sell it to people, just let's be safe for half. So 10 dozen eggs times $5 is $50 a day times 365 would be, you know, times, or 300 days would be $15,000 in, and then you got, you know, feed costs on that. So this thing, turnkey almost, you drop it, you get your little bit of equipment, you fine tune it, lights on timers, whatever. There's a few things you can automate in here, and $15,000 a year. So without a quota, Canada has quotas. I'm allowed 300 laying hens, I guess. So essentially you could do 3 of these, make $15,000 pretty much clear safely. So that's $45,000 a year income off of this. So that's pretty good chicken math. I mean, it's not that hard. Again, once the infrastructure's set up, it's just kind of a daily chore, pretty simply, and twice a year, clean it out, give them straw, make sure they're healthy. Even easier in the summertime because you leave that spacing for the sun, and then you have a run outside. So right now it's winter time. They're not really going to want to go outside pretty soon anyway, so I just have them locked in here, getting used to it, ready for winter. But I'm going to put an automatic chicken door somewhere, pretty simply, that closes up at night. Fenced in area. So maybe if you want to run different types of breeds or whatever, so you could have one of these in ducks and a run outside for ducks, and you could have one of these in a silky hen or a specialized thing, or just heritage mix, have a run outside that they're protected from predators. You know, you could plant grass and clover and or something like that in between the reefer units or whatever that are east to west, and you could keep them all separate and have a kind of funny farm operation like we do. So roost so they don't really poop on each other, and just again, I can pick this up with one hand. It's very simple. This is just a hog feeder I had. I gotta get some more permanent stuff in here, but yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. So any questions or ideas, drop it in the comments, but I thought this was one of my better ones, honestly. So, and how simple was this to mount solar panels? It's got a lip there, so I didn't penetrate the roof with anything, and just a pile of 1/4-inch bolts and lock nuts, like grade 8 bolts and lock nuts. Some old hinges I had, some of this old angle iron with the holes in it, whatever. It's on a hinge, so I can, with just a couple bolts, put this right against the trailer for our 14-degree winter angle, so no snow accumulates. I might just leave it here for as long as I can get and see how the solar panels operate at this particular angle. But then you just get a longer slot bar, and on those hinges, you crank it up for in the summertime. The sun is quite a bit higher in the summertime. So, okay, I think that covered it. I don't know. Over there is my first little passive solar chicken coop, 8 feet by 12 feet, very well insulated, like better than most houses. I'm pretty sure that thing with new material, this was before I was looking for some big deals and stuff, I'm pretty sure that cost me like $4,000 in new material to build. This was not even close to that. It costs more to get it delivered here than it costs to buy it. So I'm not going to tell you how much, but now I get eggs and I dropped it. Bruno! So another cool thing about having way more eggs than you need for your family, dog food's very expensive. Pretty much if you just fed your dog organic eggs, like lots of eggs and meat scraps, they're going to be healthier than everyone else's dog. So no more dog food costs too. But yeah, I fully expect to clear minimum $15,000 a year off of this. So fun. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm always doing some cool, innovative shit, I think, that you might find useful. Take care. Bye.